Hello everyone. So today we will be talking about wine basics, whether it's production and some list of grapes, etc., etc. So let's dig in. The wine is a drink made from fermented grapes, and it's one of the oldest known alcoholic beverages. Let's talk about the thing that gives us this beautiful wine, the grape. So this diagram shows you the parts of grapes and what all it contains. The skin has a thin waxy layer called cuticle, which provides waterproof coating and protection against injury. It also contains fatty acids and sterols, which help in yeast growth. Now the pulp contains high proportion of colored pigments, tannins and flavor. Seed contains up to 50% of phenolics of grapes, mostly tannin, some of which are extracted during fermentation in red wine. Let's talk about different types of wines. There is red, white, sparkling, dessert, fortified and aromatized. Your still wines or table wines are your red and white wines. Red wine is made from black grapes and extraction of color from grape skin and pulp is done. Whereas for white, it's made using white grapes. But if using black grape, skin is avoided. For sparkling wines, carbon dioxide is added for the fizziness. Fortified wines are those which see addition of spirit to increase alcoholic content and to stop the fermentation process. Your sherry, port, Madeira. In this video, we will focus on red and white wine. Although the production of all wine is same, just an addition of subtraction of one or two processes here and there. But we will get to it. So the grapes are harvested, they are crushed, then pressed to get the juice, adding of yeast to bring fermentation, and then clarifying of wine, then aging, and at last bottling. This is the basic production of any wine. Now let's learn about the steps in detail. Harvesting can be done by two methods. One is mechanical that you can see on your top left corner, and the other is by hand picking manually from vineyard. Another thing about harvesting is that the period of harvesting is very specific, as one needs fully ripened grapes for making wines. Now crushing the grapes is done by two ways. The mechanical way is here on your screen. This is a crusher destemmer. It crushes the grapes and also destems it. Crushing is done to avoid giving wine a herbaceous taste. Now white wine is made from green or white grapes, so the juice that we get is pale colored, and hence the color of white wine is what we get. But sometimes even black grapes are used for the depth of flavor and other things. When black grapes are used in making of white wine, the skin of these grapes is not used, as it can change the color of the wine. Now pressing is the next part, in which juice is extracted from the pulp. Two machines that can be used are basket press and windmill press. In basket press, the pressure is applied from both the ends, whereas in windmill, which is actually the name of the company which makes these press, there is an inflatable tube that inflates to provide pressure, and grapes are pressed on a rolling cylinder. Both workings are shown on the top left. The first one is your basket press, a horizontal basket press, and the second one is your windmill press. Now in this process we treat the juice. So the must, that is the crushed grape juice or your unfermented grape juice, is cloudy and is allowed to settle down, so the suspended material which are undesirable for the final product are separated. Now this can be done by many ways. One is addition of sulfur dioxide and lowering the temperature. One is to pasteurize it. One is through the centrifuge method. After this, the sugar content in the wine can be low, or one can need more alcoholic content, and for this more sugar is added, and this method is called chaptalization. Then comes your fermentation. Now during fermentation there are many procedures to follow to get a high quality wine. Optimum temperature should be maintained. In modern times it can be done using heat exchangers. The contact with air is restricted to prevent oxidation. For this, addition of CO2 in containers is done. In some, sulfur dioxide is added with traps set for prevention of air entry but allowing exit for the other two gases. Then the wine is clarified and stabilized. This stage basically removes the unwanted suspended materials. The example in the image shown is how egg white helps in clarifying. Other methods are listed below. Now comes the important part, aging. The aging is done to improve the quality of wine and enhance its flavors. It can be done in either oak casks or stainless steel. Oak barrels allow the wine to pick up the vanilla flavor in them and silky texture from the casks, also providing the pale color. For wines which are aged in stainless steel, some oak chips are added to it to get all these things. Now the question arises, why stainless steel is used when oak barrels are so much better? Well, oak barrels are very costly and are not reusable. Oak barrels are made by some specific companies, and the importing and exporting and the cost of making the oak barrels is very high. Whereas for stainless steel, they are reusable and the wine can be aged in much bigger quantities. The final stage is bottling. Bottling is a continuous inline process, and all the equipments that are used must be free of undesirable microorganisms. It is also important to make them of corrosion resistant alloy to avoid the undesirable metal pickup. Now, bottling is done by inserting a tube into bottle and filling from the bottom, or else flush it with a carbon dioxide prior. Appropriate storage conditions include absence of light and low but even temperature between 12 to 16 degrees Celsius. So this is all for the white wine. Next we will go and learn about red wine's production. As I said earlier, that the process is same for making any wine, just addition or subtraction of one or more step. Here, maceration is added during crushing, malolactic fermentation is also added, and aging in bottles is also added in storage. So everything is same, just the addition of these three things. The maceration is basically adding grape skin, seed and stems into must to increase the color and flavor. This is done only for red wine, but exceptions does exist. There are two ways of maceration. One is called extended maceration, explained in the points, and the other is cold soaking, that is explained in the picture. To understand it much better, do check the links in the description. Now the red wines are fermented at 22 degree to 28 degrees Celsius. Since maceration is done, the cap of skins and pulp floating on the top of the juice in red wine fermentation, it provides flavor and color, but may rise to an undesirable high temperature and may acidify if allowed to become dry. Such problems are avoided by submerging these by floating cap at least twice daily during the fermentation. The floating cap, these are basically done by having a big ladle kind of equipment and pressing it down. Now malolactic fermentation is called a second fermentation. That happens when a certain bacteria is added to wine which breaks down malic acid into lactic acid and softens the wine. Carbon dioxide is also released in this process. Red wines are aged in oak casks or stainless steel, and then may continue to age in bottle for 2 to 20 years in suitable conditions. For IHMites, remember that difference between process of red wine and white wine is asked in your term exams. The best way to go with the answer is to make a vertical diagram of the production of both and adding these three steps in red wine side and then explaining it all. Now here is a list of grape varieties used for making red as well as white wines. Wines are always known first by their grape variety, then by the region they are produced, and then what matters is which brand. Do check the links in the description to go in depth of this topic, and thank you for watching.